my channel where we shamelessly talk about the things that make us smile, especially beauty products. Today we're going to be working on a collab with my girl Ray Ray. She is on YouTube and you should go check her out. I love her very much. She is essentially my twin who's much taller and has straight hair and speaks with a southern accent. She and I each got the Fun-Sized Violet Voss palette. I got the Fruit Sorbet and she got the Berry Burst. What was so funny about when we picked this out is we were actually on the phone together talking about how we wanted to do a collab, and she recommended that we use these palettes. And as we're looking at them trying to decide which ones we're gonna get, she goes, oh, I already know which one you're gonna get. And we're looking and I'm like, oh, you know what? Definitely I'm gonna get Fruit Sorbet. And she was like, yeah, I know, it's crazy colorful. And she got the Berry Burst because she loves a little bit more subtle. She already did her look and she told me that she tried to use as many colors as possible and I'm supposed to do the same. This is a lot of crazy colors. While I get ready, I think I'm just gonna talk about like the beauty community. And by that I don't mean YouTube because I don't actually know a lot of people on YouTube, but I'm gonna talk about, and I'll show you what I use as I get ready. I'm trying to find my primer. I don't actually need a primer. I just kind of want it. So we're gonna start with the Layor Gold Primer. I use this one a lot. Born This Way concealer in the shade Light Beige. And I wanna talk about specifically Instagram. I've only been really doing like Instagram really intensely since end of September. And I met some really great people. I met Ray Ray. I'm so excited that I met her. I met the girl that I do my weekly shows with. Her name is Shantae. And I've met a lot of other wonderful people. But then I just like want to talk a little bit about this. There's like an ugly side. There's that competitive, want to get ahead side. If you are starting out on there, keep in mind that that's how some people are. One thing that I am learning, I'm gonna go in with my Born This Way concealer. This is my Morphe concealer brush that Ray Ray recommended, and I actually think it's quite good. It's so important that we be uplifting and positive and that we help each other, like especially for those of us who are small. To be honest, like anyone who's over 1 million, I think of as like that's the real competition. The rest of us are just small potatoes. We're so much stronger together. My job for the last 10 years has been social media for businesses. Social media strategy, figuring out how to help them grow, get the messages across they want, listening to what people are saying about us and about the landscape, and then coming up with strategies to address that. One key lesson that I've taken from 10 years in that business, in social media, you are only as strong as your partners, 100%. That's something a lot of people just don't realize, especially people that are very like cutthroat. Let's just be supportive. At the end of the day, we're all people. So I'm gonna take the Tom Ford Glow Drops in the shade Liquid Sun. This is part of his Winter Soleil collection. I'm just gonna use my fingers to rub this in. And then I also think the thing that like everybody needs to keep in mind on Instagram, if you're very active on it, the main way most of us communicate on Instagram is on DM. And when you're on DM, it is so easy to like misconstrue things. One thing I'm learning, which has been a hard lesson for me, is being more selective about the people that I put in my life. I have actually spent a lot of time trying to build and hold on to relationships with people who were not healthy for me. I'm not talking about relationships like romantic, I'm talking about friendships. And had this mentality that I had to be friends with everybody, I had to connect with everybody. That's just not the case, guys. I mean, we really don't. There are so many people out there, millions and millions. And if you find that you're hanging out with or talking to somebody and it leaves you feeling anxious, you don't feel good about yourself, and you don't like the situation that you're being put in, you can talk to them about it. And if that's not working, then move along. There's so many people out there. Put my contour on. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick. Use these two shades right here in the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. I don't know. So that's just what I've noticed. I would actually love to hear everybody's thoughts if this is something that you're experiencing or struggling with. The thing that's interesting too is I feel like what's neat about this community is a lot of us are actually talking to each other, you know? I usually powder, but I'm actually gonna skip that today. For bronzer today, I'm gonna use the Chantecaille St. Barth's bronzer. I'm gonna use my Tom Ford bronzing brush, number 5. Meanwhile, I'm having a really good time on Instagram. My girl Sasha and I started a weekly show. Let's do brows. The thing I find so interesting is that like we can do so much when we stop worrying about what other people think. Especially women, we hold ourselves back the most. It's just so easy to be uplifting, and so many people are all about it. If you do it and somebody totally like uses you and then moves on to the next person, at least you know their true colors. That's just how that goes. Not everybody's in this to be your best friend, and that's okay. I think I've been a little bit burned out with some of the anxiety, trying to post the most beautiful picture that I can take every day, just worrying if people are gonna like the content, if people are gonna interact. I'm a single mom, I work. There's a lot going on, and I think that we can be particularly like prone to burnout. like all that stuff's on my mind right now. That's kind of my point too, is like if it affects you to that level that you are down about it, like listen to yourself. It's my like inner voice saying, I don't like the situation that I'm in or the people that I'm around and I need to move on. Like, hey, I get it, but I don't want that negativity in my life. And that's really important. It's a lesson that I have to learn. Everybody has to learn in their own way, in their own time. I don't know if my brows look good. That's why I got my tea out, because I just am like willing to be cozy and just have fun. That's what we're here for. I'd like to hear how you like keep yourself motivated and in check. You can see just how down I am about it. Well, I guess not down is the right word, but just like impacted. Anxious probably is a good word too. Anxious, concerned, worried. How do my brows look? Do I look angry? Let's jump into it. I think I'm gonna start with the Violet number 16. That's his biggest blender brush. And I'm gonna use this lightest shade right here and put it just like all over. So I'm also really gonna take this and try to get it into my crease as a transition shade as best I can, because I'm gonna go in with some really, really dark transition shades. Y'all ready for this? Okay, so I'm taking my Tom Ford number 13. I'm gonna take that and take the lighter shade and put that in my crease, but like a little bit above, and then this one, the darker shade's gonna go a little bit below. Can you see it? I think it's nice. Yeah, you could like build it up if you wanted to, but I didn't do that because I want it to be nice and kind of subtle. And I think it's real pretty the way it's going on. Yeah, Violet Voss. This is my first time using a Violet Voss palette. I actually don't know much about the brand. I think it helps if you make that sound. Everybody's eye shape is different, but for mine, what I try to do is like flick up at the end because my bone structure, the bone just goes like all the way down here and it protrudes until it gets down there. And a lot of people, I've noticed that doesn't happen to them. So you really have to figure out with your bone structure what works best. That's what I think. I'm not a beauty expert though. Now we're gonna go in with this darker shade. This is my Sonia G Crease 1 brush. We're gonna go in with this, and I'm really trying to focus it on the outer eye crease area. I'm gonna put a little bit more in there because I kind of want the look to be intense. Okay, so I'm flicking it out over here. I really like this. This is a pretty beautiful color. And also this brush, it's a great brush. Sonia G brushes are wonderful. I'm gonna take it a little bit under here too. Gorgeous. I really am like, oh, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Shooketh. Oh, I feel like a sellout for having said that. I'm gonna take that pink again and go back over it and just like blend it up. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this color again and just go in right on the bottom of my bone. Again, those sounds, they help. If you don't make them, I don't know that you're gonna get the look you want. So please keep that in mind. I think what I'm drawn to, and I don't know why, I'm gonna take the green and put it like around and then have the yellow emanate. It's very pretty, this green. Wow, gorgeous. It is not laying down quite as impactfully as I'd like though, so actually I have another brush I might use. This is my little Chantecaille brush. It's just the one that came with her like 6-pan palette, and I just find it to be a very good brush for my eye shape. So I'm gonna use Urban Decay All Night Makeup Setting Spray to wet. Pick some up. What do you think? I'm really feeling it, to be honest. I like a lot. I like it a lot. I think I might have put setting spray in my tea. So pretty. So now I'm gonna take the yellow and put it in the center and just like paint it. There we go, now it's nice and yellow. Like a sun. It's kind of interesting because it's matte. I don't know if I think it's pretty. I feel a little bit like a peacock. All right, I don't know how we feel about that. What's interesting is like, what lip should I do with this? No idea. My favorite brush to use for under my eye is this Sonia G Pencil 2 brush. I just think it does a really good job of laying down color, but not too much. What I'm gonna do instead, which I also use this brush for, is take the black and use it to contour. And this is like a sparkly black, and I feel like you wouldn't normally contour, but this is what we got. Okay, well that's interesting. Is that happening? Is it picking up the green? Yeah, I think it kind of is. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just make it up as I go and hope it looks good. And if it doesn't, not going anywhere with it. Just staying home and playing with makeup. They did a good job with this palette. Next, we're gonna do under eye, and for that, definitely gonna do the blue. First, let's lay some more colors down. Oh my god, I love how this color, I love this color. The thing that makes me giggle about how much I like that color is that I bet the berry palette has all those colors. That's the palette that Ray Ray got. I love it. That's really a fun color. Now that I laid that down, I want to take some of this black and like kind of lay it 3/4 of the way, and then we're gonna go in more sharply with the blue. So by the time we're done, the only colors we won't have used are these two, which I think is pretty good. This black, I like it too. It's not too intense. You know how when you put a black on, you have to be really careful because you put too much down, suddenly it looks like you have a black eye. This is not like that, and it matches all the other colors really well. I'm kind of surprised at how much I like this. So what I'm thinking I might do is lay down some blue liner first. So this is the Milk Makeup, and it's in the shade Biz, which is a deep navy blue. I like it because it also has a smudger. So I'm just gonna put this in my lash line. So I'm gonna do a smudge out. I might bring it the rest of the way in. So I laid that down, and the reason I did that is because my plan is to take this blue and put that sort of over top using my smudge brush. I'm going to wet my brush. Oh, I like that a lot. Do you see that? It's real pretty. That blue, stunning. Stunning. Ta-da! Okay, now what I'm gonna do is take this white shade and put it in the center. It does definitely have a green tinge to it. It's beautiful. They really thought this palette out very, very well. All of the colors go together so nicely. Good job, guys. I just can't tell you how much I like it. Ooh, actually my daughter has yellow. She's got yellow mascara. Think she'll mind if I use it? So Ray Ray also sent me this. Oh, that's very orange. Ooh, it's pretty though. I like that. Great blush. For my lips, I don't quite know what we're gonna do. I think some more sparkle is definitely called for in this look. And what is more sparkly than Trophy Wife? This is like a little green. I'm gonna take the Hustler Baby shade, using my trusty Real Techniques contour brush. I'm gonna use it to fill in the blanks. So lips are always fun and difficult for me because my eye looks are always so intense. This is the one I was thinking. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in the shade Foxy Brown. I'm so glad we did this. I honestly was having kind of a tough day. This just really helped. It brought me back to like, this is why I do this. I love makeup. It's fun. My lips are super dry, so ignore that. I think it's so fun. And I have like green throughout from like Fallout because there was Fallout in the green. It's the only shade that had Fallout, and I totally don't mind. I think it looks good. Let's find some gloss. I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty in the shade Gloss Bomb Fenty Glow. Finish off with my La Mer the Mist. I just tasted it. I like how this looks. I like this a lot. This turned out so well. Do you guys like it? What do you think? This is not something I would have thought of if I hadn't done a collab. This is why I love to do collabs. And I wouldn't even have bought this palette if it weren't for Ray Ray. So collabs are the best. The Violet Voss palette, I like it. It's a good little palette. I love small travel size because I think the more makeup the merrier, and when you get full sizes it's really tough to use it all. The price was $18, can't beat that price. The quality of the shadows, on par. They did a great job thinking through the palette and making sure that the colors go together really well. They totally do. I don't know how much of an everyday palette this is, but I imagine that their Berry Burst is very much an everyday palette. If you maybe are younger, or you're just like, maybe it's like for Halloween you need a fun look, or if you want to like do something fun, I don't know, or if you just like want looks for Instagram, this is a great palette for that. I think you could do a lot more than what I did. The quality of the shadows itself is what I'm the most impressed with. Fallout was minimal. This shade did have a lot of fallout. That's the one that I manipulated the most in terms of getting it wet and trying to really pack it on. So that's probably why. I imagined if I used a glitter glue that wouldn't happen, but I also always say that and always forget to use a glitter glue. So the way the blue turned out, I painted on so well. I do want to blend it out a little bit where that black is, but even that like light blackish kind of charcoal color, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these last two shades that I didn't use, but yeah, I used 8 shades. They go together so well. All right, so let me swatch this orange color and this red for you. And it's interesting, they don't have shade names. I think they would have been great too. The yellow was nice, it turned out really well. It's great in the center there. I'm so glad we did this. Yay! This was great, this was so fun. I love collabing with Ray Ray. Ray Ray, let's do this again in the future. We also love each other. And we love you, and we wanted to share that. We love color, and I love this look. And I'm so disappointed I have to like take this off. Not transfer proof, by the way. Thank you again for joining me for this video. I really appreciate your time. If there are certain things you want to see, let me know. I'll definitely do my best. Bye guys, it was so great to see you. Thank you again.